Hey guys, what's going on? Thanks for coming back to another episode of EV Music. Today I wanted to talk about rap music, which these days is one of the most popular genres of music. Think of that song Old Town Road that came out just not too long ago. That song went crazy. It was almost, I think, number one on Billboard. Maybe it was number one at one point. I don't know, but a lot of people at my school were talking about it. I'm sure a lot of people around you might have talked about it. But the point of this video is I want to bring you guys value by teaching you how you can create your own rap music. And today, I'm going to be teaching you how to create your own hi-hat patterns that are kind of interesting and don't leave you just bored. So the first thing you want to do is you want to open up a digital audio workstation. Now, if you don't know what this is, no need to worry. There's plenty of them out there. I'm using Ableton Live. Also, some of you may have heard of GarageBand, which is free if you have a Mac. And then the step up of GarageBand is Logic Pro. So any of these will work. Doesn't matter which one you use. So once you have your DAW opened up, you want to find a hi-hat sample that you like. In Ableton, I just go to this samples panel right here, and then I can type in hi-hat, and I found this good one I like, hi-hat closed 808. Next, what you're going to want to do after you've found your sample is you're going to want to create a new MIDI track. Now, for those of you who don't know what MIDI is, it stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface, and it's what allows computers to work with instruments, or also samples in our case. So that's what we're going to be doing to create our hi-hat pattern. The way I create a new track in Ableton is I just do Command-Shift-T, and that's going to create a new MIDI track, and I can rename that to hat. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to convert our hi-hat sample that we found into an instrument. And I'm sure there's other ways to do it in your DAW, but for Ableton, what I do is I go to this instruments panel right here, and I take something called a simpler. And what a simpler is going to allow me to do is it's going to allow me to use that hi-hat sample as a MIDI instrument. So I go back, search for my hi-hat, and then I drag that sample in here, and I trim it down a little bit just so we don't use what we don't need to use. And then that's that. And now what I can do is I can create a new MIDI track by double clicking this. And then once you create that, or I'm sorry, did I say MIDI track? I meant MIDI clip. Once you click that, and now I have a piano that I can use to play those hi-hat samples. And so what you want to do now, if you're in Ableton, is you want to hit that headphones thing, and that's going to allow you to press these keys and hear what you're playing. So you can hear now we have a piano that's made out of hi-hats. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I can create eighth notes by making sure the grid is in eighth notes. And then what I can do is I can just click the notes on here. And for all 8 bars for now, just to build a foundation, I'm going to just do eighth notes for all of it for now, and then we'll build our pattern off of that. And how we're going to add that variety is we're going to add in some common things that you'll see in rap music, or hear. I guess you can't really see it. These things are known as rolls, and they're used a lot in percussion and drumming. So I just kind of gave them all random names, and I'll play them all for you right now. So the first roll you got is the basic roll 1. It's just kind of a fast triplet. And then the next one is similar. It's a slower triplet. And then the third one, this is kind of more advanced. I've heard this in Old Town Road. Yeah, I've heard them use it in that. It kind of adds more variety that makes the pattern more interesting, and it's just really cool to use. So now that I've taught you all the patterns that you'll hear the most in rap music, now we're going to add them to our eighth note pattern, just wherever we think they might fit. And this is going to be different for me, it's going to be different for you. Nobody's going to be the same, but you add them wherever you think they're going to fit. So for example, maybe I'll add a basic roll 1 here, so the one that goes faster. So how we do that is we want to make sure it's on triplet grid and then 16th notes, because it's a little bit faster. It's not the eighth notes like basic roll 2, but we'll get to that later. So basic roll 1, we're just going to put in those notes right there, and then we play it, see if it sounds good. See, it already sounds amazing. And we're just going to do that with the other rolls, add them where we feel they may make sense to us. Now I'm going to show you guys how to create the other rolls. So the basic roll 2, remember the slower triplet, is kind of easy. It's pretty much the same. You want to make sure triplet grid is on, but instead of having this at 16th notes, you want it at the 8th notes because it's slower, right? Do the math, it checks out, you know. So we're going to now delete these 2 8th notes, or actually I'll delete these 2, just see how that sounds, and then we can click in some notes here because we got the grid set up, and it will sound like this. So sounds pretty cool. And now I'm going to show you guys the advanced roll. So this one's a little bit harder to create, and that's why I call it the advanced. So what you're going to do is you're going to set this to 30-second notes, take off the triplet grid. I mean, you can keep it on if you want. I've never heard what that one sounds like, but then you're going to do basically half of a 30-second note, so kind of like that, and it's just going to be kind of rough, and then you're going to copy that thing and paste it, and you just keep doing that until you end up with a bunch of those. And now once you've created that little buzz, like that little, then you can even have 2 in a row if you wanted. So I could copy that whole thing right there, and I could delete that and then just paste it right there. So then it would sound something like this. So kind of interesting, adds a little bit of variety. Now, we're pretty much done with this video, and what I want you guys to do, what your homework is right now, is you're going to pause this video when I say pause, and what you're basically going to do is you're just going to do what we just did. You're going to add in each of these rolls, just like I showed you, to wherever you think it makes sense within the 8 bars. And there's really no other rules. You can repeat them, you can repeat different patterns. We're just adding variety to this. Also, keep in mind that any of those rolls that you added, you can actually pitch shift them up to add more variety. So you could take this and put it up there, and then put this one down there, and it's going to sound like this. So it's pretty cool. Try doing that as well to go out your boundaries and sort of go out of your comfort zone. All right, you guys ready? Pause. All right, I hope you guys did your homework. I did mine. I came up with this little thing here. So lots of random stuff. You can see that I just put all the different roles we talked about in places that I feel would make sense, or I feel my audience would appreciate, appreciate the variety. If you guys want to send me your beats on Instagram or post them, you can check me out. My Instagram is @evanmurray_. I would love to listen to your beats and see what you guys have created. So here's what I've created, and it's worth mentioning that I did add in a kick drum to kind of give it some feelings, so that way the hi-hat's not just alone. But you guys will learn how to do that in a future video, unless you're an OG and you already know how to do it. But don't worry if you don't know how, because I'm going to show you in the next couple videos. But here's what it sounds like. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and if you like this kind of content, let me know, because I love making these kind of videos. If you didn't like it, it's alright to leave a dislike, but what helps me even more is if you leave a comment like this person or this person, because that lets me know, it gives me some feedback saying, hey, Evan, this is something you could do better. So it really helps me out a lot. I don't care about dislikes, like that's fine, but it's gonna help me if you give me that feedback. Take some extra time out and leave that comment. And lastly, if you're new around this channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications, and share this video with your friends, so that way everybody can stay in the loop and we got new people coming into this music family. But without further ado, I'm gonna close this video and let you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.